Raptors fans are everywhere, including the guy who was sitting behind the scorer's table wearing his retro Raptors jersey. It could have made some significance if that had been the only time that the Raptors won when they did have their dinosaur jerseys on, but it wasn't, because the last time that they did win was back in 2007, and this time they're hoping to do it all over again, and without the heart and soul of the lineup, Tim Duncan and Tony Parker, out because of injuries. I don't know about you guys, but my blood pressure was boiling, and I am both aggravated and frustrated with how these Toronto Raptors played, especially down the stretch of this game. While the heart and soul of the San Antonio Spurs team, Tim Duncan, and my fantasy player Tony Parker, who did hurt my fantasy team, but that's besides the point, in the pregame warmups, Coach Greg Popovich didn't even harp on that, and the players knew that they weren't about to freak out about the whole situation. That just meant for the Raptors, the game was about focus. Focus does not mean staring at the ball after the shot has been taken and let it just pass you by. Focus means sticking with it, hustling, diving for loose balls, penetrating, doing whatever it takes to get the necessary rebound. While Tony Parker was on the bench injured, it just meant that the 15 minutes of fame went to the sophomore out of Indiana and Purdue University, George Hill, who was phenomenal. And when I mean phenomenal, I meant he had the quick passing hands and the ability to drive to the basket and blow right past the Raptors defense, as if anyone could not do that. Of course, let's give it up to Manu Ginobili himself, who was the leading scorer for the San Antonio Spurs, and as a collective, they scored 131 points, maybe the most ever that they will score this season. It felt as though there were two head coaches out there for the Toronto Raptors. Both Coach Jay Triano and assistant coach Mike Ivrioni popped off the bench and were animated on the sidelines, trying to instill some sort of positive momentum. But Coach Ivrioni did say, since I can read lips, to his assistant coaches that you can't let this happen on a nightly basis. Down the stretch, you might have even needed a neck brace, or possibly some aspirins. The way that Toronto Raptors were playing, with a lack of bodies in the middle, you can't get anything done. It became obviously transparent. I know you must have noticed it. Towards the end of the fourth quarter, it seemed as though Jared Jack was sulking in his towel, about to cry, based on the way this game went. But it's not just him, but the rest of the Raptors roster have to be held accountable and look themselves in the mirror and figure out these defensive woes. Help the dinosaur, Chris Bosh. He needs someone else. He can't do it all himself. And this whole thing about too little, too late is frustrating me and the rest of the Raptors fans out there. I'm Pyle. Thanks for joining me inside the Purple Room, and I will catch you again next time.